Good morning, students. In last class we learned about different forms of water, being that there are three forms of water. First one is ice, then the second one is water, then third one is water vapor. Ice is the solid form of water. Water is in liquid state, it is of liquid form, and water vapor, it is of gaseous form. Now today we are going to learn about water cycle, of how these three types of forms they change into each other into the nature. So today we are going to learn about water cycle. So first of all, open your books on page number 75 of your science books. So page number 75, we will start reading with water cycle, and have pencils in your hand so that we can mark something important. So water cycle. In nature too, the form of water keeps changing. Water in nature keeps on changing into vapor. This is called evaporation. So in nature also the form of water keeps changing, like we learned in the last class, in the last session, that water changes from ice. It changes into water. Then if we heat that water, it changes into steam, that is water vapor. Then if we put a lid on the vessel which we are heating water in, and if we notice it, we notice that there are a few water droplets, and if we freeze those water droplets, again we get ice. So this same changing of forms of water, it happens in nature also. So it is called water cycle. And so what happens is, water in nature, it keeps on changing into vapor. This process is called evaporation. So underline this line, that water in nature keeps on changing into vapor. It is called evaporation. The rays of the sun fall on surface of oceans, rivers and ponds. This increases the rate of evaporation of water. So how does this evaporation happen? How does this water change into water vapors on its own? What happens is, because of the heat of the sun, the water that is present in oceans, lakes, seas and rivers, it evaporates, it changes into vapor, and because the sun rays is constantly falling on these natural water bodies, what happens is, if the rate of evaporation, it increases and it happens faster. So then this water vapor, it rises up in the air, and when these vapors come in contact with cool air, they form tiny droplets. This is called condensation. So then when this water vapor is up, it goes up into the air, they come in contact with the cool air, and then this water vapor, it forms tiny droplets. This process is called condensation. So what is condensation? Condensation is when water vapor cools down to form water droplets. It is known as condensation. So underline this line, when these vapors come in contact with cool air, they form tiny water droplets. This is called condensation. These water droplets join together to form clouds. Underline this line also, that these water droplets, they join together to form clouds. So this is how clouds are formed. Clouds are formed due to the condensation of water vapor and the formation of little water droplets coming together. So far we have learned about two processes, that are evaporation and condensation. Now, when the water droplets get too heavy, the clouds cannot hold them. They then fall as rain. This is called precipitation. So when the water droplets they keep on adding into the cloud gets very heavy, and then it cannot hold the water droplets anymore, so it rains. This the process of raining is known as precipitation. Underline this line. When the water droplets get too heavy, the clouds cannot hold them, then they fall as rain, and this is known as precipitation. The rainwater flows back into the oceans, rivers and ponds. Due to rain, the level of underground water also increases. The underground water helps in the growth of plants. So with the help of rain, what happens is, rain falls down, and the water from rain, it fills back the oceans, seas, rivers. So all of those water bodies from which evaporation happened, because of precipitation and because of raining, they are filled back again with water. And because it is raining, the rain goes into it forms underground water, and this underground water, it helps plants to grow. Precipitation may fall as hailstones, drizzle or sleet. In extremely cold climates, the raindrops freeze. then they fall as snow. So precipitation is not just in the form of rain, it is also in the form of hailstones, drizzle or steel. And in some places when it is extremely cold, these water droplets, they freeze and then it snows. So snow happens. This change of water from one form to another is a continuous process and it never stops. This process is called the water cycle. So this continuous change in the form of water in nature, it is known as water cycle, and it keeps on happening, it is continuous. Now we are going to read the yellow box that is given on the page, that is get it right. About 70% of the earth's surface is covered with water. Underline this line. About 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water. But about 96% of the water is present in the oceans. So, about 71% of the earth's surface is covered with water, but 95%, 96% of this water is present in the oceans. And in last class we learned that the water present in ocean is not potable water. So we cannot use it for drinking purposes. So we should be very careful when we are using water. We should not waste it. And we should always when we are taking bath, we should use buckets to take bath. Now we are going to revise what we have read today. So today we learned about the water cycle. The form of water, it keeps on changing in the nature, and the form of water keeps changing into water vapor. It is known as evaporation, and how it happens is the constant sunlight, the heat from the sun, it evaporates the water from the ocean, seas and rivers, and also it is a continuous process, so it has a very rapid rate of happening. So what happens is this water vapor rises up in the air. The water vapor comes in contact with cool air and forms tiny water droplets. So it rises up in the air, then it comes in contact with the cool air, and then this water vapor forms tiny water droplets, and these water droplets come together and they form clouds, and this process is known as condensation. Then the clouds from the water droplets get very heavy and the clouds are not able to hold them. So what happens is it rains and the clouds get heavy with too many water droplets and it rains. And this process is known as precipitation. But precipitation is not only in the form of rains, it can also drizzle, steal, even at some places it snows. So then the water from the rain, it comes on the ground, sometimes it goes into underground, and this underground water, it helps the plants to grow, and the water from the rain, it fills back the oceans, seas and rivers from wherever the evaporation happened. So what is water cycle? Water cycle is the natural cycle of water in which it changes from one form to another, and it keeps on happening. It is a continuous process. And for help, if you want, on page number 76, this diagram of water cycle is given. So here you can see these are water bodies, natural water bodies. Evaporation is happening from here and here, and then this water vapor is going up. And it's cool air coming from here. So this so the vapor has formed water droplets, and these water droplets have come together and formed clouds. So these clouds have become heavy by this process happening, a condensation happening again and again, and these clouds have gotten very heavy because of too many water droplets, and they cannot hold these water droplets anymore. So what happens is it rains, and this is called precipitation. So this water again from the rain is filling up this water body. So it keeps on happening. This is known as water cycle. Now this is all for your chapter. We have completed our chapter air and water. Now your task for today is to revise what we have learned so far, especially what we have revised today. Learn these terms thoroughly: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, water cycle. They are very important. That is all. Thank you and have a nice day.